What's up, guys? Matt Fragger. I'm back again with another fragrance review video for you. And today I want to talk about a couple vetiver fragrances that are very vetiver leaning. And it's going to be Encre Noire A L'Extreme and Encre Noire Sport. Now, it is raining today here in Zanesville, Ohio. Um, and whenever it's raining, I don't have to decide between my collection of fragrances what I want to wear for the day because when the weather's rainy, I always reach for Encre Noire A L'Extreme. I have smelled the original Encre Noire, but I do much prefer the Extreme to that one. And that's the one that I have here. And that's the one that I always reach for when it's raining. Just for some reason, this is a fragrance I love to wear in rainy weather. Maybe it's because this fragrance is very dark, it's very broody. It's really mysterious, and it kind of fits like a dreary kind of rainy day. Um, and it is very divisive. In the fragcom, it's kind of notorious. Both of these Encre Noirs are notorious for being divisive fragrances that, it's a love it or hate it kind of thing. But if you're somebody who really does appreciate vetiver fragrances, these are both really, really good and both in their own way. I'm not going to sit here and claim in any way to know that much about niche fragrances. My collection pretty much lives in the budget space. I do have a few niche, I have smelled a few, but I have heard the term used to describe these niche quality. Now, again, I'm not going to claim to say I think they're niche quality because I don't have a very good basis for comparison. Um, but I do understand because they are very artistic. Both of these are very artistic, very like unique in their own kind of way. The line kind of unique in its own way, and like these are the kind of fragrances that I really believe that even if you're not a huge fan of vetiver fragrances, even if you're not somebody who immediately smells this and falls in love with it, this is a fragrance that you can really like get to love. I feel if you just kind of give it a chance, give it a few wears, let your nose kind of wrap around it. I think that you could get a lot of people could grow to love this. I'm not saying everybody. I understand not everybody is going to get on board with these fragrances. But for those of you who do, or for those of you who feel like they're, want to be adventurous enough to pick one of these up and kind of, give it a run around the track, um, I just wanted to kind of share with you real quick a little bit about these two. First of all, Encre Noire just means black ink in French, and I think that that is a perfect like kind of overall blanket description of these fragrances because they are both pretty dark. Even the Sport, although it's much lighter, it's like it's it should have been called instead of being called Encre Noire Sport. Like I don't really think that's a proper definition for the fragrance. It should have just been called what is it? I wrote it down here. The French word actif is the French word for sport. They should have just went Encre Noire Actif because I mean, yeah, it still means sport, but I don't know. I think it would have been cool if they would have did that because it's not really sport. It's just more of like a lighter version and also more of like an outgoing kind of a more crowd friendly version of Encre Noire. Between the two, I will say the Sport is definitely a lot more like has more mass appeal, uh, at least more in the direction of something that would be mass appealing and something that a little more people are going to get on board with than the Al Extreme. This one lightens things up and kind of feathers off some of the rough edges, if you will, on the Encre Noire fragrances. But the Al Extreme is a really, really interesting and to me just beautiful fragrance. The way that the notes play against each other in this thing, and it's dark and it's rich and it's like kind of like again mysterious. Like it's got this mysterious nature to it. Here's the notes in the Al Extreme. You got cypress, elemi resin, and bergamot in the top. Then you got Haitian vetiver, vetiver, incense, and orris in the mid, and benzoin, sandalwood, patchouli in the base. Um, and I've always felt that like the fragrance doesn't even really translate the way that the notes read. I mean, you can get a general idea. You read the notes, you can kind of get an idea, but you have to smell the fragrance to really translate what everything that's going on here and understand it. And I think it's great. But so yeah, the All Extreme is definitely darker, definitely richer, and more of a broody type of fragrance than the Sport. The Sport lightens things up quite a bit. I think that if you were going to get an Encre Noire fragrance and you really don't want to be super adventurous about it, and you really don't like, you want to play it a little bit on the safer side, I think the Sport is fine. I think that even people who, are more, that stick more to mass appealing kind of like, generally pleasing type of designer type fragrances, I think could get on board with the Sport. Um, Let me give you the notes for the Sport. It's grapefruit, bergamot, and nutmeg in the top. Cypress, lavender, and watery notes in the mid. And then you got bourbon vetiver, Haitian vetiver, cashmere wood, and musk in the base. And I mean, it's definitely a different kind of animal than the L'Aventure, and I said L'Aventure. Then the La Extreme. We're not talking about L'Aventure here. It's definitely a different animal than the Al Extreme. Okay, and this one is definitely a lot more divisive than the Sport. The Sport, if you were to take these and kind of like go out to people and just say, smell these two, which one do you like better? I think a lot of people just off rip are going to say that they like this one better because it's a lot easier wearing, easier going, more like, more kind of like casual, not so much on the edge type of fragrance as the All Extreme is or the original is. So for a crowd, for the majority of people, this one is going to be a lot more acceptable than the All Extreme. But for us frag heads, I mean, if you're watching this video, you're probably somebody who is not just the average person who, is just got like maybe one or two bottles. You know what I mean? Chances are you're at least somebody who's interested in trying some different stuff and being adventurous in your fragrance journey. And yeah, I mean, these are both really great ones to kind of like take a step forward and take a step out and be a little adventurous in your collection. And they're not that much. Like that's the thing. These are budget fragrances, and for what you get in here, um, for the price, is really really good, in my opinion. And like I said, I like to wear these when it's raining out. It kind of fits the mood. It just kind of seems to be um, almost a tradition for me now. I would say like whenever it looks like it's going to rain, or if it is raining, I'm like, well, I know what I'm wearing. And the cool thing is, see, at first I just had the All Extreme. I've had that for a little while. I've spent a lot of time with it. I really, really like it. I've worn it quite a bit. The Encre Noire Sport I acquired very recently. Matter of fact, I got it as a on Christmas from a buddy of mine. Partial, pretty good partial. It's pretty full, but got it as a partial, and I have not spent a whole lot of time with it yet. But I have spent enough time with it to know I've given it a test wear and I've checked it out enough to know that it's definitely a much more tame version, and maybe better for somebody who's just kind of like wants to explore like a really vetiver heavy type of scent profile, but kind of take a baby step in, if you know what I mean, and not jump right into like Encre Noire. It's like it's almost like the three fragrances are three different levels of adventure. Like you got the Sport is kind of like it's a little adventurous, and then the Al Extreme a little more so, and then Encre Noire, the original Encre Noire. I mean, put it this way: some people have compared it to the smell of death, not death as in like dead bodies, but death as in just the overall vibe of death is the vibe that they get from the fragrance. And I've heard a couple times people reference it that way. So yeah, I mean, definitely some fragrances that are not going to be, like in most of everybody's top 10 lists. They're not fragrances that are going to be, like on the panty droppers lists. They're not going to be on a lot of, not going to pop up on a lot of lists of common popular fragrances. But I think that both of these are worth checking out, worth picking up and giving a try. And I like to have both of them because I can wear. I now have a choice of which one to wear. Like I said, I like to wear them when it's raining. Now I can wear one or the other, just depending on the day, depending on the mood. Like if I'm in a more of a jaunty mood and it's raining out, go with the sport. Or if I'm going to like Walmart to pick up some groceries, sport. But if I'm doing something like, say, I don't know, maybe I'm going out to lunch with my wife, or something like that, and it's really dreary and it's really dark, and I'm kind of in that mood where I'm feeling that kind of vibe, then I'll reach for this one. So I love having the choice of two now. That when it's raining out, I know I got a choice of two depending on which way my mood goes. And that's something I really like about fragrance in general, is you can wear fragrance to suit your mood a lot of times. And these two are definitely like kind of a mood thing where one of them is one kind of mood and one of them is another. So I encourage you guys to pick these up and check them out. Uh, you know, and try it for yourself. Like, see what you think about if wearing these. And those of you who have Encre Noire, any of these Encre Noire fragrances, hit me up in the comments and let me know if you wear them when it's raining out too, or if it's just me, or if maybe you think that might be a cool idea to wear them when it's when the weather's dreary, because that does seem like it fits to me. So thanks for watching another fragrance review video, guys. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your life on this planet to spend a few minutes with me. I'm the Mad Fragger. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.